so bad. I mean, listen, got the same vibes that I got with Maui, with Lahaina, right? You get some of these working class areas that just get totally torched to the ground because of incompetence by the leaders that manage these Democrat areas, by psychotic environmentalism that refuses to clear brush and engage in actual forestation and management. Right now, there are tens of thousands of Californians who are fleeing. There's entire neighborhoods that are now gone completely, that have been torched to the ground. We don't know what the death toll is right now, but we do know a couple of things about these fires. One, the fire hydrants are literally not working anymore. So you want to talk about a state of actual third world collapse. We've been saying it for a while that California is effectively on the brink of collapse. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The firefighters can't fight the fires. The forestation management is non-existent. The fire hoses and fire hydrants don't work. And there aren't enough firefighters to actually fight the flames. And this is all because of criminal mismanagement of the state and of the state's readiness and of the priorities of the state, including but not limited to the mayor of Los Angeles being in Ghana right now. She ain't even there. Her name's Karen Bass, and she's not even in the city. She's in Africa right now. For what? Is she like doing some type of like really important like soul searching thing, or I don't know, voodoo thing? No. She's at an inauguration, a presidential inauguration. She's decided to go to a presidential inauguration in Ghana while her city, one of the second largest city in the country, burns to ashes. Look at this footage from people's homes. You have to feel bad. You must, if you have a soul, you must feel bad for these people. They have been failed by their leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, first among them is Gavin Newsom. Here's Gavin Newsom literally like sitting there watching the fires burn. This is what he thought would be great to put out on social media. Nope. This is not the look. Just a reminder that when President Trump was president the first time, he literally warned Gavin Newsom on Twitter before he was banned. Today is the anniversary of Donald Trump getting banned off of Twitter platform and many other platforms, dozens of other social media platforms. When Donald Trump was on Twitter the first time, before it became X, Donald Trump said, the governor of California has done a terrible job of forest management. I told him the first day that we met, he must clean his forest floors regardless of his bosses, the environmentalists, demand of him. They also must do burns and cut fire stoppers. This is President Trump, of course, sounding the alarm that they're, and being correct again, another like penny in the Trump was right jar, that Gavin Newsom and the psychotic environmentalists in California are going to lead to an abject and total disaster there. And now it's been proven right over and over again. Of course, the fires can't spread unless there is fuel for the actual fire. Here's a map that shows you exactly how badly this has gotten out of control. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can, we scroll down. Yeah, okay. Yep. So it's a 3-part map. You can see how the fire started up in the hills, how the fire has now effectively encompassed Malibu. Some of the most expensive properties on Earth are now just completely and totally in flames. This post here, Klein. Look at this. I mean, this is all happening right now, still actively happening. And, we want to state that we're very sad about it. Look, again, what you're going to get from us is directionally pointing the blame where it belongs, which is not at the innocent civilians who've had their lives destroyed, but at the politicians and leaders who have engaged in cult-like climate worship at the expense of human lives. Some of the most expensive homes on Earth right now in total flames. This is Malibu Beach right here. Here's some of the wreckage of what it looks like across major metropolitan areas. Look at this. Dude, I'm telling you that the front lines of Ukraine doesn't look this bad. Oh, speaking of Ukraine, do you know that Los Angeles decided to send a bunch of excess fire equipment to Ukraine excess? Who determines what's excess fire equipment? There's no such thing as excess fire equipment when you have like 20 million people living in an area. But they decided to send it to Ukraine. The leaders of the DEI fire department in Los Angeles decided they'd forfeit firefighting equipment to Ukraine. It's incredible. Thank you, producers. With a real quick follow-up here, let me read just very quickly, just so that you know, directly from the LA County Fire Department.gov. On Thursday, well, just 2 years ago, Los Angeles Fire Department joined the 4th District of Los Angeles County Supervisor in the city of Inglewood announced that they would join the national effort in gathering and donate surplus equipment and gear to help first responders in Ukraine. Oh, okay. So they gave their fire equipment to Ukraine. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the fire hydrants inside of Los Angeles are no longer working. Look at all these stories. This is from Mike Cernovich. Fire hydrants aren't working and they don't have any water. I'm telling you, what's happening here in Los Angeles is worse than what's happening in Ukraine. And the leaders of LA sent all their firefighting gear to Ukraine. Dude, I tell people this. Like, we were at America Fest in Arizona, and there's a lot of Californians were there at America Fest. I'm like, you make a horrible mistake by assuming that a state's going to stay blue forever. California, under this leadership, will not stay blue forever. California will swing red. I'm telling you, like in my lifetime, but like in the near term, in my lifetime, California will be a red state. And that'll actually, if you won California, Texas, and Florida, that's effectively the ball game. I don't think the Republicans are going to give up Florida or Texas anytime soon. And then if you add the 54 electoral votes from California, then that's the entire, that's effectively a monster pile. Is 200 plus electoral votes. So it's like a ball, like there's just no chance for anyone to win ever again. And California was a red state in my lifetime. California was going red in my lifetime. California cannot even pump water to their fire hoses now. Lack of water from hydrants in Palisades fire is hurting firefighters' efforts. California firefighters running out of water. This is what you see in third world countries. Firefighters running out of water as fires tear through Los Angeles. Incredibly sad. Malibu here. Just one final, listen, it's just disaster porn at this point. It's so cripplingly sad. This is worse than any Ukrainian city looks like. This is a literal war zone. And why is this also happening? Well, ladies and gentlemen, not only is the mayor of Los Angeles off in Africa, the DEI hire fire chief of Los Angeles is bragging about the most important thing for her, which is that they hire more women to be firefighters. Here we go.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I said, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that was an opportunity for me.
I say this, and I've said it a million times. DEI kills. DEI, the non-hiring on merit, the hiring on your immutable qualities, like the amount of melanin in your skin, or who you have sex with. That's going to kill people. It does kill people. And ladies and gentlemen, it's leading to abject collapse in these Democrat cities. I mean, in New Orleans, they didn't even have up the anti-car personnel barriers. They had those big metal those big metal poles. I can't believe people just forget about it so quickly. I mean, I guess the news cycle is like the length of a gnat. Nat's memory, Nat's life. But they had those iron barriers to prevent vehicles from ramming people, and they didn't put them up. And now there are 15 dead Americans. How many Californians have perished in these wildfires? I don't know. But it's time to bring back meritocracy. It's time to bring back intellect. It's time to bring back leaders who actually care about the citizens whom they represent and want them to live healthy, safe, prosperous lives. Here's President Trump warning Gavin Newsom. This clip is from 2019. President Trump warning Gavin Newsom to his face. Dude, you are going to kill people in the way that you psychotically manage your state by prioritizing environmentalism, which makes no sense, because if you were an actual environmentalist, you would want to clean the forests. That actually helps forestation. That actually helps the growth of the trees and plants. And it saves people's lives. It makes these fires much easier to manage because the fire can't go anywhere if it doesn't have any fuel. Anyway, here's Trump doing it to Gavin's face.
It's cleaned out and protected. You got to take care of the floors, the floors of the forests. Very important. You look at other countries where they do it differently, and it's a whole different story. I was with the president of Finland, and he said, we have a much different, we're a forest nation. He called it a forest nation. And they spend a lot of time on raking and cleaning and doing things, and they don't have any problem. And when it is, it's a very small problem. So I know everybody's looking at that, to that end, and it's going to work out.
There's one other thing that I want to speak to, because we've done reporting on this for our own show. Whenever I go to LA, I drive through Cannery Row in Los Angeles, and the look is so depressing as an American. You don't want anybody, oh, it's a blue state, ha ha ha. You don't want anybody to be living like this. This is cruel, it's inhumane. Just pop it up on screen, Klein, whenever you get it. It's like what it looks like. This is me driving through LA like a year ago. This is what LA looks like. Guys, I'm telling you, some of the worst, and I've traveled to third world places on the planet that don't look as bad as this. And you wonder why they're out of control, raging fires. And look at this. This is this is your second largest city, the city of angels. Look at this. This is what it looked like. This is me driving, just filming as I'm driving. I just got my cell phone up. That guy, I'm telling you, that guy, I went down multiple alleys. These people were starting fires. I'm not saying that a homeless person started these fires, but who's to prove me wrong? There's such a horrific homeless problem in Los Angeles, and there are videos now surfacing of homeless people starting fires that people are saying, yo, I just saw this the other day. I saw this the other day. So a homeless guy was starting a fire. Here's this person, this is outside of Los Angeles, somebody filming on the side of the road, some homeless guy starting a fire next to a bunch of sagebrush. Get back to my video, Klein. We have a moral crisis in this country. It is a question of morality. You don't want to see people live like this. I mean, it's dark. It's not humans shouldn't live bent over on the streets, addicted to drugs. They shouldn't live in squalor and filth like this, not in this country. Why do we tolerate it? Why do we allow it? So final point I'll make here, and then we have the great Senator Ron Johnson who's going to join our program. I have a feeling he has some thoughts on this. Where you live is a direct reflection of the morality of the people who are leading you. Go to a city park in your town. I do in my town all the time. It's why I moved to Tampa. The city parks in Washington, D.C., where I think the Senator Ron Johnson is currently going to be joining us from, they were handed over entirely to homeless criminal vagrants with needles sticking out of their arms, knives, firearms, drugs, frothing at the mouth, pissing and shitting all over the park benches. That's what the city parks in Washington, D.C. are like. Now, I had a child. I welcomed my firstborn child, and the moment that I started to realize that these parks are actually meant for children and families, and the two can't coexist, I said, we're out. And we're going to find a place, and we did, where the parks are for the children and the families, where mothers are safe with their children. And it's a question of morality. The leaders of a city make a decision. They choose this. This is not something that was forced upon LA. LA decided to do that. They are promoting this. They are wanting this. So, who's it for? And there's a number one easiest possible way to judge the leaders of your city, your municipality. Get in your car, take a quick drive down to the city park, and see, are there children and families prospering, safe? If a vagrant walks into that park, will cops immediately arrest them and keep them from the children? Will men stand up, muscularly defending their families and saying, you will get the hell out of here? I know the park I take my kids to. The dads, if some hobo came rolling through and was threatening a child, the hobo would be lucky if the cops got there. It'd be the dads who'd take care of it. It doesn't happen here. And that's why I moved my family here. Hopefully your city is the same way. If you live in a city that has allowed their spaces to be overtaken by demonic activity, then you gotta go. You gotta leave. You should leave California. This is what I saw when I went to California. You should leave these places because those places are just for pure death and destruction. There are no human souls that are beyond redemption. But there is darkness and demonic activity, and it cannot coexist with the light. So you must make a choice as a society. Are you for life or are you for death? And unfortunately, right now, there are people who are finding out in California that their leaders worship death. The truth is the light.